It was a city far weaker than it had been when the Spaniards arrived 18 months before. Smallpox, a European disease to which the Aztecs had no resistance, had devastated the population.
A great plague broke out in Tenochtitlan, striking everywhere in the city. The illness was so dreadful that no one could walk or move. A great many died from this plague, and many others died of hunger. The Codex Florentino.
Moctezuma's successor was among the dead. He was then succeeded by Moctezuma's nephew, Cuauhtémoc. Prophetically, his name meant falling eagle. While the warriors of Tenochtitlan were far weaker than before, Cortés was far stronger. Capitalizing on the hatred neighboring tribes had for the Aztecs, Cortés raised an army of nearly 100,000, all of them eager to attack the Aztec capital. There would be no repeat of La Noche Triste. The fighting raged for weeks as the Aztecs fought desperately. It was house by house and street by street, brutal and grisly. As the battle raged, the Aztecs sacrificed 66 captured Spaniards atop the Great Pyramid, plucking out their hearts in plain sight of their comrades below.
It was terrifying when we looked up at the top of the tall temple. They sacrificed all our men, eating their arms and legs and offering their hearts and blood to their idols. Bernal Diaz.
The battle raged on, but the Aztecs were outmatched by the weapons and tactics of the conquistadors.
The Europeans came over and fought the Aztecs. Not only did they have the great military advantage of having swords and cannons and gunpowder, but they think of the psychological aspect of it, that here they were on horses, and a soldier on a horse could just trample over 4 or 5 or 10 Aztecs that were on foot. So it was really a real David and Goliath situation when the Europeans met the Aztec warriors.
The Spaniards were too powerful. They had advanced technology. They had horses. They were not going to be denied this prize.
In the end, the magnificent city of Tenochtitlan fell into rubble before the sword and cannon of the conquistadors. Cuauhtémoc was captured and brought before Cortés. The last king of the Aztecs was proud and defiant to the end.
Said Cuauhtémoc, I have assuredly done my duty in defense of my city and my vassals, and can do no more. Take the dagger that you have in your belt and strike me dead immediately. Bernal Diaz.
Cuauhtémoc would die after 4 years in captivity, finally hanged by Cortés for rebellion. The Aztec Empire and city of Tenochtitlan died with him. The Spanish conquest was complete.
There's a real ambivalence about the conquest, about the Spaniards. On the one hand, it's a way of looking to Europe, and it's a connection to Europe, and it's a way of, the way we do on this continent, we tend to legitimize ourselves by looking to Europe, especially Western Europe. On the other hand, they are, they are the imperialists. They came and raped and pillaged and took over the country and killed many Mexicans in the process, Mexican Indians in the process. So there's a big division there.
From the ruins of the Aztec Empire would emerge a new and often troubled civilization. With the fall of Tenochtitlan, the Aztec kingdom became the Spanish colony of New Spain. Tribute continued to flow to the city on the lake, but now the gold went to the Spanish, not the Aztecs. On the rubble that had been Tenochtitlan, a new city, Mexico City, was built.
Social historians like to focus on the fact that Cortés and his allies and his followers destroyed Tenochtitlan. But what they conveniently overlooked is that out of the rubble, Hernán Cortés then created Mexico City and inspired the construction of impressive buildings. Mexico City then grew and became the political center, the religious center, the cultural center of New Spain.
Catholic